Shit, what's this podcast called?
Discourse of Human Events.
The discourse is just crazy.
Everything's okay, I'm just trying to act my age. Yeah, I wanna know where the hell the days go. Yeah, I wanna know where the hell the days go. I wanna look and feel years younger.
1, 2, 3.
Flashlight.
Okay, I'll let you drive the entire thing. So we're reviewing 2021.
Okay.
And Zach's going to go over through all the events, starting with the January.
Yes, this is our annual year in review. And I was just thinking as we said, Flashlight. Next year, do we need to change the word we say for syncing audio?
I think did we change it on? I think we changed it on like the 100th episode.
Oh, so you're thinking on episode 200 change it?
Yeah, is that right? Are we getting close to 200 episodes?
We're at 165.
Close to 165. Yeah, I think at 200 we change it.
Okay,
I don't think it's
fair.
a yearly thing.
It's every 100 episodes. That makes more sense. All right. So 2021, let's just start off. We just ended the year 2020, so wild, crazy, pandemic-ridden year, right? And the first thing that happens, basically in January, is January 6th with what we have deemed the insurrection.
Shit ain't going to slow down.
Yeah.
Here's I think the opening was like, everyone's like, finally 2020 is over. What a crazy year. The worst year that has ever happened. So nuts. So crazy.
Nothing could be wilder than that.
Yeah. 2021 kicks off with a storming of the Capitol.
Yeah, it's fucking... It really put, 2021 into this wild start where you're just like, wait, no. We can't be wilder than 2020, and it starts off wilder.
Yeah, and I don't know about you. It doesn't seem like a year ago to me. This seems like 5 years ago.
Yeah, I've since COVID, man, time has just been warped.
It seems so crazy.
This is the COVID effect.
This is so at the end of last year. When the election was contested, to this point and a bit after, it was impossible to follow anything else.
Yeah, very true.
Right?
Very true.
Yeah. Because
people were just doing crazy conspiracies. They were all talking about the vote count. Trump was just saying, can you get me, I just need this many more votes in this state. Everyone was denying that he won. It was just such a wild situation. 5 people died, too. I think actually maybe more.
I think a lot of them were not really. It was just really that one girl.
Yeah. Some people died because basically they had
a heart attack or some shit.
Bad hearts, yeah. But no, there was also the suicides. There was 2 or 3 suicides from it.
During Capitol. Causes of death released for 4 to 5. So, Ashley Babbitt was the one that actually got shot.
Yeah.
One had a cardiovascular disease, another a heart attack, another was on amphetamines.
But there's...
And then the cop they did not release.
But there's also...
They may have released it later. 2
or 3 of the security guards from there killed themselves after. So they didn't die during the riot, but they killed themselves later. Shortly thereafter. Which is kind of wild when you think about it. First death...
One cop died from being beaten or bear spray sprayed into him.
Yeah, that's true. There's the one that was definitely beaten, and the one chick that got shot. So there's technically 2 deaths, like during the actual thing.
Okay, later on it's reported he died of natural causes. So this is
what? He got fucking beat by signs 11th. And shit. Who determines that?
No. In January 11th, he was. It said so. The New York Times, January 11th. He died being beaten and sprayed with bear spray, maybe. And then here in April 19th, and this is NPR. So I mean, this is not this isn't Fox News.
Yeah.
This is NPR saying he died of natural causes. The medical examiner rules. So in reality, he had a stroke.
Okay.
So it was a stroke, 2 heart attacks, 1 guy on meth, and the girl that got shot.
What's the natural causes though? Because like you were
a stroke. You can get shit. I don't.
But if I hit you in the head and
I don't know what
2 or 3 days later you have a stroke, it's not the stroke that killed you, right? Like, I mean, that's the final nail in the coffin. Like, come on, like...
Was sprayed with a chemical substance. He did not suffer an allergic reaction to the chemical irritants.
But he had a stroke a few days after the insurrection.
No, I think he had a stroke during the insurrection and died after.
Oh, how's that natural causes? That's the biggest fucking lie I've ever heard.
No, I think it's natural. I think he had a stroke. I don't.
But why is that? How's that natural causes? He was being beaten by stuff. Being beaten by stuff causes stroke.
It doesn't seem like he was beaten. He was sprayed with bear spray, which probably is bad. But hold on, let me read this.
And stress causes this as well.
Spraying a chemical. They were charging and injured officers. The justice and other 2 officers standing a few feet away. The third were forced to retreat. Is not how the medical examiner would affect ongoing investigations. I don't know. He had a stroke. That's all I know.
Okay. Well, let's think logically, Nick. If you were involved in a major riot and you died 4 or 5 days later, of a stroke that you had during the riot, would you assume it was probably caused because of a riot? And that the person wouldn't have had a stroke during it?
I don't know if strokes are caused by external trauma or not. Like I know,
it can be, right?
Heart attacks. Like if you're running on a treadmill, it'll cause a heart attack.
Yeah, heart attacks, obviously, but strokes are a similar.
I know strokes. They just come out of nowhere. I don't know external. Let me Google that. External trauma.
There you go.
Cause stroke.
Well, it says here.
Can stroke be caused by trauma? One cause of trauma is a tear in the head or neck or blood vessels. So basically, he had to have a tear in the head or neck or blood vessels.
I'm just going to go out on a limb here and say something hit his head.
I don't know.
Look, I'm speculating, but I don't think it's that big of a speculation to say he probably got hit by something during a riot that caused him to have a stroke. That didn't necessarily show up on the autopsy, right?
Well, no, come on, that would show up on an autopsy. If you got hit in the fucking head with something, that shows up in autopsies.
Not if, well, it depends. Did they open up his skull and look at his brain?
No, you'd have a bruise if you got struck in the head.
No, because he could have a light enough hit to the head where it can cause a concussion, but not necessarily bruise all over his head. You can cause a concussion from just
a stroke.
No, you can have a concussion from just like a very quick whiplash,
like whiplash?
Right? Yeah. Like he doesn't necessarily have to be hit hard on the head.
I'm not saying he was or was not. The stroke was not caused by trauma.
It's sus to say it's natural causes that he died of a stroke a few days after he was involved in a major riot.
And he had the stroke during the riot.
Exactly. That's what I should. That even more is sus, right?
That he probably had the stroke during the riot because of the riot.
Correct. Yeah. Had there not been a riot... But I would
say the cardiac arrest people also had it just because it got their blood pumping.
Yes. I'd say it's also that the riots fought. Yes, they had bad health, but that caused that.
It seems like the media just trying to find everyone that died, and then like later on you find the whys.
Yeah.
Initially, I never heard the heart attacks until later either, and this doesn't even say.
Yeah, exactly. And how many times do you go to a rally and people just die of heart attacks?
I don't know.
It probably happens, right?
How many people? Yeah, how many people are there?
But it's not like
how was it 100,000? Was it 500,000? Was it?
That's
10,
a good question.
10,000 if 5 people die. That's pretty.
That's
pretty high.
That's actually a really good question.
This is what the media doesn't do. Like, give me context.
How many people were
if it's 10,000 to 50,000
at the
high death
insurrection? Yeah, that's actually a good point. Just we can statistically put it where that would be at. And 3 died of natural causes. That's what I call bullshit. Like, there's an insurrection and 3 died of natural causes. That doesn't seem very natural. How many people were there? A mob of people. Yes, mob. We heard this.
I'm Googling specifically.
That's what I tried to, but I kept getting. I got like how many people died instead of how many people were there. Let's see. How many people showed up?
It's difficult, if not impossible, to estimate the size of the crowd that stormed Capitol Hill.
We have footage of it, though. They kind of have like a somewhat of an idea.
There's a whole article about why it's hard.
Jesus, really? They can't even estimate here?
Basically, up to around 100,000.
Okay.
10,000 to maybe around 100,000. That's the end of the article. Is he'd say up to 100,000. I'd start to say no.
So 100,000, 3 people dying of natural causes is possible, I guess.
Yeah, that's a wrong along the lines where I'd be like, I could see that.
Yeah.
100,000's a lot for 3 to 4 people to die.
Yeah.
If it's like an exciting thing where it would get your blood pumping enough that you'd have heart attacks, right?
Yeah, let's just say I think something tells me the fact that there was an insurrection might have increased the likelihood of people to die of stroke and heart attack.
But they should lead with 4 people die of a stroke, 3 heart attacks, and 1 got shot.
Yeah.
5 people died during the riot, and then all of the the people on the right will say, there's also killing us. The police are shooting all of us.
Let's be honest, though.
And all the liberals will be like, oh, those maniacs are killing all the guards.
Isn't it kind of shocking that only 1 person got shot?
No, because I don't think anyone was.
They were.
It's the same thing for the.
There's videos of them literally beating police,
right?
Right? Like, there's definitely times when they were beating people with stuff.
Whoa, Zach. Most of them were white people beating police. Let's be honest here.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely why there wasn't as many killed. But I'm just saying.
It
is kind of shocking to me that there's not more.
Right? It's bad that the 1 died because I don't believe she would. I doubt a woman was threatening someone's life.
Well,
right?
She was told not to do what she was about to do, and I think they were threatened because it wasn't just her. It was more like she was helping the mob, right?
Yeah, but do you have the same sentiment towards the black people that get shot when they're like, well, you running at them. Well,
if there's a mob of people and you have a barricade and 1 person is tearing down the barricade, then yes, absolutely.
Is that what she was doing?
Yeah, she was trying to.
No, but you shouldn't shoot. If you're not threatened for your life, you don't shoot. You don't kill people.
Well, I think that's a question of do you feel threatened for your life or no?
I would have been fine with being the shit out.
It didn't necessarily have to be a kill shot. I could see that.
No, you should. I don't know. They must not have pepper spray They should have rubber bullets. The same thing in riot control. Like, I don't think.
Here's one thing
in the riots, when they're punching people, they're fighting cops, right?
Uh-huh.
I don't think they should shoot them with a gun. They should beat the shit out of them, rubber bullets, all the stuff.
Well,
but they shouldn't shoot them with a gun. And I believe the same thing here. You don't shoot people with a gun to kill.
One group of people that I think would disagree with you, except in this case, is the people who were there at the rally.
Oh, do you think they should? No, they're more like, what color are they?
You shot a white woman? How dare you?
Unless your life is clearly in danger, you should really not.
Is that not clearly in danger? I don't know. That seemed like it was. If I was in that situation, I'd feel like I was in a pretty big danger if I had a mob coming after me and all I had was a little barricade stopping them. And they were clearly trying to get rid of it.
We'd have to go into way more details because I need to know how big the mob was and like how threatening they were.
Yeah.
And even still,
did they have pitchforks or not? Did they have their torches?
Yeah, I mean, only one person shot them. Why didn't if it were that dangerous, you would think there would be lots of shots fired.
Yeah, true. That's why I say it's kind of shocking that there is only one.
All right. So that took about 15 minutes of horror.
Yeah, but this is the thing about 2021 is it started off hard, and then it kind of petered out. Which is one of my complaints here as we look through. I don't see the other thing that happened in January, which is clearly a very important time and thing that happened.
Mm-hmm. What's that?
The GME squeeze.
Did that happen in January?
Yeah, it's January 28th, and it's not in here.
Okay, well,
where they turned off the buy button.
Let's not completely skip ahead, okay?
Well, that's why I said, okay, so Joe Biden is inaugurated president. Was the only thing that was mildly...
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, exactly.
The GME short squeeze.
So that was on the 28th.
So 2021 didn't slow down yet, because...
Exactly.
It's crazy, because that, at least in the U.S., was the next biggest news, by far, was what the hell is going on with that?
Yeah, and the fact that they turned off the buy button is... I don't think that's talked about enough, honestly.
On Robinhood?
On multiple platforms, it was turned off. Robinhood was just the big one because most people were using it. Essentially, they got margin called. They didn't have the liquidity to provide for the margin, so their solution was to turn off the buy button so the price would rapidly drop. And they could meet their margin. Which is what happened. It dropped pretty rapidly. Because nobody knew that was a thing that was allowed.
Yeah.
You were allowed to sell your shares, but you couldn't buy them anymore. Which, shocker, if you can't buy a share in a company, its price drops. Now, do you feel like that's not talked about enough? Because I feel like that was just sheer evidence that the market is completely manipulated by rich people.
Yeah. It's in the exact same vein as Epstein didn't kill himself. Yeah, we all know it, but what are you?
Yeah. And that was just, but that was just like one of those like pure evidence, like, oh, so we're not wrong, huh?
Yeah. So other people control the financial markets, and there's no way you can win.
Yeah, isn't that wild?
What are you gonna do about it?
Yeah, it's true though. What can we do about it? Right now, the only thing we can do is a lot of people, including myself, said, "I guess I'm just gonna buy more and keep these shares."
Yeah, so that's your. And what are you gonna do about Epstein?
Yeah, I mean, what the fuck can you do about that though?
Exactly. Unless you start, bringing out the pitchforks, sharpening your pitchforks, ain't nothing gonna happen.
Unless we do another insurrection, I guess we're fucked. Wait.
Yeah, maybe we get together and storm the Capitol together.
If somehow the Republicans and the liberals could get together on some mutual cause like this, that's the only way.
There is one.
What?
At least, like the Epstein killing.
Uh-huh.
Like,
diddling children.
Everyone's against that, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Diddling children could be one of those.
And then what was the other one? GME. Everyone should be against that. Like, just both parties controlling financial system.
But I feel like not enough right-wing people were affected by that. Because you have to be somebody who uses Reddit and stuff like that. I feel like if you use a lot of social media like that...
Oh, no, wait, but Michael Berry's pretty right-wing.
True.
Yeah, so at least I feel like there's plenty of, not terribly dumb right-wingers that probably were doing that. I don't know, maybe.
I don't know.
But anyways, this is skipping way ahead in the year. What I feel like we should all, I think both Republicans, Democrats, Libertarians, everyone in the middle, whatever, this Nancy Pelosi and other, senators...
Oh my God, yeah.
The insider trading.
The clear, obvious insider trading.
All come together and fire all the people that vote against stopping.
You can't though. How can we do that? Because they're all in it together. They all want to make money.
No. No matter which party they are, you write a pledge. I will vote against whoever votes against the bill that says, senators and congressmen's money goes into a trust, and they don't get to do insider trading. And there are a lot of laws that, they'll be prosecuted for insider trading. If you vote against that, even if I'm a Republican or I'm a Democrat, and my guy's a Republican and a Democrat, and he votes against it, I'm going to vote against that guy.
Yeah, but this is something that people aren't going to do. And I feel like requires the effort and also the commitment. And thirdly...
Because you know why? They'll bring out either Donald Trump or Joe Biden. They'll go, fine, you're just helping out. In the blank.
And not only that, there's always loopholes, right? You set this up, but the problem is if you have a Democrat and a Republican that voted against the bill, but they're the only ones on the ballot, like that happens often, right? Like a lot of these people are just run unopposed, or there's not a real option.
But you could do it in the primary too.
Yeah, true.
I don't know.
The problem is we have too many legacy people that just have a legacy of being in office. First, we need to get rid of that.
Yeah. Term limits all around.
Yeah, like, why do we have Congress people that are in Congress forever, basically?
Yeah. Both Trump and Biden are in their 80s?
Yeah. They're so fucking old, dude. But one looks like it and one does not.
Isn't it weird? I can't imagine our grandparents being in Congress because they don't know how to use an iPhone.
Yeah, it is actually kind of really weird to think about. Yeah, but I feel like Donald Trump knows how to use an iPhone,
I know, but for the
Joe Biden, I bet you does not. He seems like your typical old person.
Yeah.
Dude, that dude is on the verge of dementia.
Probably. They did something to him during the debates, though, because he seemed fine for the most part.
Yeah, it's called drugs, man. They're drugs.
Yeah, he did something.
It's called drugs. I'm wondering, does that, what is that one website where you take bets on who wins elections and random shit like that?
Predict It.
Predict It? I wonder if there's a bet for whether or not Biden will live through office, his first term.
Oh, I think there is.
There has to be, right?
You want to see what it is?
Yeah, let's see what the over-under is.
It'll be more like probability Kamala Harris becomes president before such and such a date.
Oh, which is basically hinting at that fact, right?
Yeah, which is basically that.
Just basically, will Joe Biden die?
Is determined to be not coherent.
I feel like that would be worse for them if... I feel like they would literally, even if he wasn't able or fit to be president, they would keep it going and just avoid having him on TV for a long... before that, and just basically have Kamala Harris be the vice president. Because that would be a bad look for the Democrats, right? To the general public.
So here's the... They don't have exactly the thing.
Okay. So what do they have?
Interesting. Okay. So here's how you can determine that there's a strong chance that Biden's going to die or drop out.
Mm-hmm.
So, will Kamala Harris be the 47th president of the United States?
So it's basically
31% chance. A 31% chance. No. But you can also go and look at who will win the 2024 U.S. presidential election. Mm-hmm. What's their chance? 11%.
So there's more chance of her being 47th from him dying. Is what the bets are saying.
Actually winning the 2024 presidential election.
I would agree with that statistic. They're thinking
she's going to become the next president that way. 31% chance.
If he dies,
of that 31% is she gets elected.
Let's say he does die, and she becomes president. Who do you think would run against? I'm assuming maybe Trump or somebody else in the Republican Party. Who do you think would be the top candidate?
Her?
No, who would in the Democratic Party run? I guess run against her because there'd be primaries.
Apparently, according to the predicted, the next one after her is Pete Buttigieg.
Buttigieg.
I remember him.
Yeah.
He's apparently the top contender after her.
Wow, that's not great options, huh? Buttigieg.
No, it's a very narrow field. It has been since. I don't know, I feel like since Bush, there were lots of people that you could have seen becoming president, but then I guess the next, Howard Dean and all those, but after that, it was like Obama or Hillary. I haven't heard of anybody else.
I don't know if this is biased, but I feel like we're at the, when I listen to the Death of the Republic podcast by Dan Carlin, I feel like we're in a very similar time period.
Yeah, it's all fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's not going to end soon, but we're on the decline of the capitalist nation, the United States.
If you listen to Dan Carlin's common sense, he's kind of on that page too. It's
just a lot of signs that
it's all so broken.
Yeah, capitalism has destroyed a lot of things, and cronyism within the capitalism.
Crony capitalism.
But I think capitalism is involved in that, right? Because companies, companies can create a lot of cronyism, right?
Yeah, when they bribe
where there's big money
to basically pass the laws that they want.
Exactly.
That's not good. So, but see, I want to always distinguish free market capitalism versus crony capitalism.
Crony capitalism. Well, yes, true, because we have the latter.
But a lot of people, when they say capitalism's the root, is like, whoa. Capitalism gave us the iPhone, the free market did. But crony capitalism gave us the healthcare system we have.
Exactly. But you know what? When you say the iPhone, it is great that we have iPhones. But iPhones also create the kind of slave labor in other countries, right? So we can have a cheap iPhone.
Yeah.
It isn't also necessarily all good for everybody.
No. You have to look at the alternative of I wouldn't say slave labor. Let's say very low paid. They're not. They do have freedom.
And indentured servitude, essentially.
But you're not looking at what they have. You're looking at what they have. You should look at what their alternative was. So let's say we don't produce iPhones. What would the girls that are working in those factories now do?
That's a good point.
Prostitutes. So it's prostitutes or low-paid iPhone
workers. Or shit wages.
Which one?
Yeah, I mean, you got me there.
So they're improving.
Well, that's also not true. If society would work towards that not being an issue, those would be your options. Obviously, that's a different problem with a different type of...
But what do you want Apple to do? Overthrow the elected government of other nations?
Why isn't Apple raising an army to get rid of this?
Right? Let's be realistic.
Alright.
Okay, moving on to February.
The good news is, most months after this does not have that much to say about it. This is why we had to spend so much time in January, because January popped off 2021, and we're like, fuck, this year's going to be worse. How? Like, it literally, I'm not sure if there's anything in February that's noteworthy. Oh,
a major winter storm kills 130 people. I don't even know if I remember this.
Is that where, like, Texas was out of power for a long time?
Was that Texas? That might have been that.
Yeah.
Go over a major winter storm.
That's what I'm doing. Northern Mexico and parts of Canada and the United States.
I don't remember that shit at all.
Yeah, it was Texas.
Okay, Texas. That I remember.
Yeah.
That's the big one.
That's where what's-his-face went on, like, vacation while people were, like, had no power.
Oh, Ted Cruz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was pretty wild, let's be fair. Like, a winter storm in Texas causing power outages is pretty wild.
And I hear on his private plane as he was flying away, he, put the window down or put his, thing out there and just pissed over Texas while he was leaving. Just right on the people as he was
Got him. There really wasn't much else going on in February, though, right?
Let's be fair. What is the guy gonna do?
I mean, not go on vacation. You can pretend to care.
Yeah,
but clearly it doesn't fucking matter because people will still elect him because he's the fucking Republican in Texas. This is the problem with crony capitalism.
I'm not saying he's a good person, but then when you go to like Bush, and it's like he was during 9/11, he got the bullhorn and he was out there doing like shouting, having rallies and stuff. It's like so fucking what like. It doesn't. It's just meaningless symbolism.
Yes.
I'm on the page that meaningless symbolism is stupid. Just go on your vacation. I don't care. Like you're not gonna get a goddamn hammer and go and like rebuild a house, right? You don't know how to do that. You know what he needed to do? Like give money or go and gather money or any of those things.
Yes, but the problem is if you go on vacation, then we are assuming you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Over the phone.
Yeah, no. That's the other truth is him being on vacation, he can probably do the work he needs to do with a cell phone.
Yeah. So I do think I mean, maybe it looks bad, but it doesn't really matter. It's meaningless symbolism.
I think he masturbated to no electricity.
I still do think he pissed on the Texas while he flew out, though.
He has a specific kind of plane where it doesn't like flush, it just goes out.
He's the guy that picked a booger live on stage, right? And tried to hide it.
True. He is the booger eater. The live booger eater.
He ate it.
Yes.
Is that right? Did he eat it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Oh man.
Am I making that up? Ted Cruz
wiped it somewhere.
Booger. The thing is, I can type in.
He wiped it.
Ted Cruz booger, and YouTube is like, "Oh, did he just eat a booger?"
You want to join?
Do you have it enough?
I made a little more.
You made a little more, huh?
Not the exact recipe, but close.
Bro ate a booger, man.
Close. Okay, that's because not only should that disqualify you from political office, like if you did that in elementary school, bullied for life.
Yeah.
No one's gonna.
You're forever the booger eater. Booger boy.
Yeah.
That's just nasty. I can't even watch
Forget
that.
about talking about him leaving the Texas. Just be like, no one cares. He ate a booger live on stage.
Bro, you ate a booger. I'm never voting for you ever again.
You can't vote for a booger eater.
I can't.
In fact, I feel like when the cameras are off the Senate, even the Republicans go and kick him. Fucking booger eater. Weirdo.
Him and his peers are just kind of like, ugh, that's the booger eater. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like there's rich and powerful people or like get off on weird shit like this and like, dude, I'm gonna eat a booger live on TV and watch, I'll still get elected. Like that's the kind of shit I feel like they would probably do. Why not?
Jesus.
Like, if you're on a power trip and you've already done weird shit, and Ted Cruz has done some weird shit, I feel like that's something you would do. And what's the...
Maybe.
What's the fucking Rudy Giuliani fucking had his, like, oil hair melting.
Oh, yeah. Did you watch the beginning of It's Always Sunny?
Yes, where they're just responsible for all this shit. That was fucking great. Alright, well, there's not much else in February. The death toll of the COVID worldwide is 2.5 million. I guess that's noteworthy.
That actually seems kind of low to me, don't you think?
For global? Maybe, I don't know.
6 billion?
Yeah. For what damages it caused.
I want to know the U.S. because I want to put in context of how much I actually...
I think the U.S. is almost 1 million, but I don't know about that time. No, it can't be.
Almost 1,815,000.
Yeah. Dang, how...
Then, that's not excess deaths, right?
Yeah, this is just reported deaths, right?
Deaths.
What is excess deaths at this point?
Oh, I know I've seen like a simple summary of this, but when you Google it, it's not the simple summary.
Are you doing for 2021 what excess deaths are?
I wanted like all together.
I just want for 2021 because I mean that's what we're talking about, right? Excess deaths 2021. Oh my God, there's so many words.
That's what I thought. Is they're like whole papers, and you're really gonna have to read.
Yeah,
basically
like I need
a lot more.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of wild that we're at almost 1 million just in the U.S. now, right?
Yeah,
that seems like a lot for.
So let's assume excess death is another 200K. That's 1 out of what, every 350 people?
Yeah, that's a lot for any kind of disease, and we have basically. I feel like the U.S. is basically just going. You know what? We're kind of done with it. I don't care about the Omicron variant.
I don't care about no Omicron.
And it seems like Omicron is essentially...
You see that in Ohio, but go anywhere in California. They're still all masked up. I still mask up.
Ohio is... Even in Columbus now, it is very half mask, half not. I always wear a mask in, like, public except doing jiu-jitsu and stuff, but, like, the majority of grocery stores, it's pretty much, like, half and half, where half the people just don't care.
There are people coming even closer to you and breathing harder than they did before the pandemic.
They just went around coughing. They just before they pick anything up, they cough on it.
Nope, don't want that apple.
How long do you think we will actually, until like people stop caring or talking about COVID in the way we do now?
Oh, I read, I think the Pfizer CEO says the whole thing won't be over until 2024.
That seems kind of accurate, right?
Yeah. I think this has got to be the 5th or 6th time my workplace had just extended work from home. Like, it's now March. It's been... First thing it was, we'll be back in a month. And then it was... God, I don't even remember. There's like 2 or 3 dates in 2020, another 4 dates...
Jeez, oh Pete.
3 or 4 dates in 2021, and they just...
At what point do they just admit they don't need the fucking building and let people work from home?
Yeah. No idea. I don't know. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Corporations have some weird obsession with forcing people to go into a building to work now. But I feel like half of that is we pay rent for this building.
You know why?
Why?
It's because they're all run by weird booger eaters like that want to see what they can get away with.
It's the control thing, right?
Come in even though they don't need to.
I'm going to make them come in. I'm going to make them work 9 to 5. I know they're only going to do 3 hours of work.
Some sort of businessman maybe even a CEO, and I bet he went in front of workers and like, I'm gonna eat a booger in front of them. There's nothing they can do about it.
I mean, you can just tell, like, corporations, the majority of them...
Did we just skip March?
No, not yet. The corporations, just in general, I feel like they don't listen to actual data, because I feel like there's actual data that shows a shorter work week and shorter work hours makes people more productive. But they're not going to do it. Because in America, you work 9 to 5, Monday through Friday.
All right. March.
All right, so March.
There is nothing in March.
March, literally, nothing. Nothing happened in March of this year. This may have been
fuck this year.
The month where we were like, wait, is 2021 not going to be fucking wild? Because it started off pretty fucking wild.
There's really nothing. Like, even the international ones are pointless.
I will note,
let's see.
Still not a lot of shootings. Mass shootings. Kind of 2020 put really like a stop to them.
It's so weird, right?
Yeah, because our previous year-end reviews always had a mass shooting every single month. Until 2020.
And I feel like I know I made the prediction that there would be more riots, I think, last year. That not at all.
No.
Right?
Nope.
Massively reduced.
It is fair, though. You had the insurrection.
Did I? I don't remember. Maybe I did. I probably did. Seems like something was going on. The insurrection? Oh, as in that would count the riot?
We need to listen to our predictions of last year, but I did think you predicted more riots. So we had less, but we had one very important one.
Yeah, true. So crazy.
Yeah, it really is. Alright, what do we got going on in April this year? I'm not seeing anything.
So
this is the thing, man.
But scientists announced they successfully injected human stem cells into the embryos of monkeys.
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, I don't think that was something that would make the news. But they made human monkey embryos.
Chimera embryos.
They probably killed them right afterwards. They didn't let them be born. But that's a little creepy.
That is pretty fucking wild. So, wow. That is wild. Didn't hear anything about it, though.
See, what
so
else?
I'm telling you, like, this year gets boring after January.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what else happened. I guess we'll go through it if we see it. But
yeah,
it like
I don't see much in April. Do you? April seemed like
the pandemic going on. But
yeah, I mean, mostly pandemic continues, and everyone is surprised Pikachu face that it didn't last the 2 weeks we were promised. Alright, so moving on to May of 2021. SpaceX Crew 1 mission ends. I guess that's notable. Let's see, what else we got?
Hey, we have our annual more conflict in the Middle East. Fighting between Israel forces and Palestinian militants continues to escalate. I feel like you could put that in every goddamn year.
Yeah. Israel and Palestine have missiles and fighting. Thank you. Moving on.
Discovery
That's so true, though. Every year
buy Warner Media from AT&T.
I don't remember that.
No,
for $43 billion.
I didn't know Discovery was that big.
Yeah, Discovery Channel is apparently fucking huge, man.
Yeah, it's got.
Because they have Animal Planet, the Science Channel, and TLC.
Huh. Yeah, I guess all their.
Oh, they've also acquired fucking Food Network, dude. HGTV and Travel Channel.
Yeah, so the key is as long as you just pretend to be about learning, then ditch it immediately and go for quick profits, it pays.
Wait, is Discovery just owned by Disney, though? Because it says right here, they'll be on Disney Plus.
I think that probably just means they sold the rights to their stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking.
It doesn't look like it's their own thing.
Okay.
But they're the ones that have like, oh, what it's like to be in a family of midgets, what it's like to be two fat pieces of shit women.
Yeah. Hey, Discovery Channel's kind of cool. They also have like they did Planet Earth, which is amazing.
Okay, that's true. But a lot of them are just really shitty reality TV shows. They're basically just a freak show. You
could say that about like a lot of TV. It's just TV shows.
I know, but they're supposed to be high-minded learning.
Reality.
And then in reality, most of it's just schlock.
Because a lot of people just like, I just want to see freaky shit, man.
Yeah. We'll just call it
Toasters is joining. Yeah. They have like the fucking they do have a lot of like I'm over 1,000 pounds shows that I fuck cars show.
I complain about them, but I'm one of them because when those two big ladies hit TikTok, I could not laugh at all the things I saw them say. Like just crack.
Those people are fucking wild.
Shit. Yeah. What do you drink mostly? Sody pops.
Sody? I know the exact TikTok you're talking about. Sody pops?
Influencers, they say.
Is it like the complete opposite of influencers? Here's what not to do.
Yeah.
That's wild to be able to get to that level of fat.
Yeah.
The world is a different place than it was just 100 years ago, right?
Yeah. And not that. You get to a level of fame, like, millions of people know who you are because of it.
Because you're so fucking fat. It's so wild.
One of the most famous people.
Like, how do these people even live as long as they do? Like, they still probably live into the 40s or 50s, right?
Well, they're not starving to death.
Yeah, but, like, the toll that takes on your body.
Oh, I'm sure it's a lot.
Alright, well, what else we got?
Moving on.
I wish there was, like, Just America 2021.
The shit we care about, 2021.
Yeah. There's nothing going on in May, man.
June.
It doesn't work out in June. No.
I didn't realize, the G7 agrees on a global minimum corporate tax rate of 15% to prevent tax avoidance by some of the world's biggest multinationals.
I did hear about that.
Like that. That's interesting.
I did hear about that on Super Stonk.
Huh. Super Stonk.
I remember hearing about that.
Yahoo's voted out.
Yahoo's voted out? What? Where do you see that?
Yahoo of the Israel. He was the PM for a long time.
I thought you were saying the website Yahoo.
He's in charge of Israel.
I was like, what the fuck do you mean by it? It's voted out? Voted out of what?
Wow, really? So the number of vaccinations administered worldwide exceeds 3 billion. Is that...
Wow.
If you get vaccinated twice, do they count both of those?
They have to, right? Because there's no way half the world is vaccinated.
Yeah. Seems crazy.
There's no fucking way it's half the world is vaccinated.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
It does say vaccinations administered. Does that also include, like, when I got a vaccine, I got it 2 shots? Does that count as 2?
That's what I'm saying. I think that's what they have to do to get that number.
Yeah. There's no other way.
July.
So it's more like 1 billion vaccinations.
Okay, assassination of Majavanel Mose. Oh, Haitian. Okay, it took me a while because I couldn't find the country. It's like, I don't even know where the fuck this is. But somebody was assassinated.
Oh, this is July. Yeah.
But then I saw Haiti. So
shot to death at 1 a.m. local time in his home. Where was this at?
Haiti.
Oh. Why? We don't care about this. Let's be honest.
Yeah. That's what I
These are places
this
where
isn't a country we
assassinations
must
are
not
just
care about, right? Yeah.
Yeah. This is just like that's the norm. Like it's notable if we have somebody there that isn't assassinated, right?
Mm-hmm.
What else do we got here? Oh, Olympics were postponed. The Summer Olympics.
Oh, okay.
I think that's notable.
It's probably notable. I don't think that happens very often.
Yeah, that's...
It's not the most interesting thing in the world, but it's notable.
It is notable.
Okay, August.
Oh, wait. The first direct observation of light from behind a black hole is reported. That's pretty cool. Which confirms Einstein's theory of general relativity. That's kind of cool.
Still not buying it.
I don't buy that, Einstein. It's just a theory, bro.
I need to go near the speed of light myself so I can see it.
It's just a theory like evolution.
See it. Mm-hmm.
No, you believe in birds and that the Earth is round.
You know, those people, I feel like they're more likely to believe that you could kind of travel forward in time at a faster rate.
Yeah. Right? Yes. This is why when we tried to let's make up a dumb conspiracy and get people to believe it, as soon as I heard the birds aren't real, it's like, we can't beat that. Birds aren't real is too ridiculous. Like, we'll never win. We could come up with something really fucking stupid, and it'll be something dumber that people actually believe every time. What else we got? August. Hey, Haiti, after the assassination, had an earthquake that killed 2,100 people.
That's what I was just going to mention. Another thing about Haiti we don't care about.
Oh, man.
Another one where, the nightly news, right, was like, they have all the things that happened in the day. That was one item. And then they also had a video of a cat trying to make a jump and missing. And then the cat making a jump and missing. Right?
This is all we have.
More important.
It's so true. All right, September, baby. Let's see. Do we got something going on in the world in September? El Salvador becomes the first country in the world to accept Bitcoin as an official currency. I didn't know that. That seems kind of wild.
That's one where they have the crazy inflation, right?
Fuck if I know. I thought that was
Wait, I think we missed one big one.
What?
The Kabul airport attack. This is when everyone was remember this
in August.
Story about us leaving Afghanistan, right?
Oh, is this when we left? Or this is what led to us leaving?
I think this was during the leaving.
Ah. Why wasn't this on here? When did we leave
August 15th,
Afghanistan?
The Taliban capture Kabul. The Afghanistan government surrenders to the Taliban. Okay, that's August 15th. That's big news.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
20 years war. And then we finally go, I guess they could win. They guess they can have all of Afghanistan.
Bye.
Sorry, guys.
Why don't they have that we got rid of the last troops in Afghanistan? That's
August 15th, 2021.
Where is that at?
That's basically when they took it.
But they didn't say that, though. They don't have, the U.S. have the last troops leave Afghanistan. That seems like that should be a headline.
Later? Because that happened later, right? They went and just took the airport. And they're like, you can have all of the city.
But I felt like that happened all at the same time, within, a couple days.
Yeah. So August 15th, the Taliban take Kabul, right? That means the U.S., they haven't entirely left Afghanistan, but they basically have the entire airport.
Here it is. August 30th. We just didn't get to the end of August.
I was telling you, they do have these.
Yeah. So we finally left Afghanistan August 30th, 2021.
Bush's legacy.
Bro, can you, like, imagine? Like, I remember us invading Afghanistan and all that shit and how wild that was. Like, people are like, but why Afghanistan?
No, but why Iraq? Everyone.
Iraq, that's right. It was Iraq. See, it's been so long, I forgot we invaded Iraq first.
But the weird thing was, it was because the real reason, at least my understanding at the time, was because that's where we thought Bin Laden and the Taliban were, right?
Yeah.
Bin Laden is in those caves, and really he wasn't. He was in Pakistan, not Afghanistan, or at least he fled there later. I don't know.
Oops, we goofed.
Yeah, so it was just so much craziness.
Do you think now that we're officially in no wars, that we will soon be in a war?
I think that's part of the hidden reason is why they were really pulled out.
That we were going to start a war somewhere else?
That we needed the troops
with China, perhaps?
Intimidating China, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's actually the real reason.
I would totally see.
Is it's like, well,
why else?
We can't do this shit anymore.
Yeah, like, let's not spend money here. We got a much more important war to fight.
It could just be intimidating, like, well, China could invade us or do something, invade another country because we don't have the troops, they're all in Afghanistan.
True. I don't know, like, I feel like I think we're overdue for a big war. Quite honestly. Isn't it about every 20 years?
Get it out of the way by invading Canada.
Isn't you know what? Fuck you guys. We're tired of you guys. Your fucking maple leaves. This is a good prediction for our 2021 podcast. When will we convert to metric?
I don't know. It's still going to take so many generations.
Right? Alright. Moving on to September.
Moving on.
This is when we had the El Salvador accepts Bitcoin. That's pretty cool, though. I didn't know that happened.
That is. That really seems like it actually gives some real value.
Yeah, that entire country accepting a currency definitely helps. I don't see anything else, though.
Blah, blah. Yeah, North Korea being crazy again.
Shocker.
Nope. September.
All right, moving on to October. 2021 was kind of weird, man. And that started off with a bang.
January.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing much in October.
Dude, the news just died off. Last month, did anything happen last month in November? SpaceX launches Crew 3 mission, carrying members to the International Space Station. I guess that's a little noteworthy. Since there's nothing fucking else to talk about.
You know what one of the things is January set such a high bar.
Yeah. It's hard to beat insurrection and, like, retail investors causing a squeeze so big that they had to shut off a buy button. Those are two pretty, like, just so out of the ordinary situations. Which is why I knew we would have to talk about those for a while. But yeah, literally nothing in November. Did Omicron not happen in November?
I thought it.
Or was that a December
November
thing?
November 26th, they found Omicron in South Africa. So that's the 26th.
So it's been going on for about a month.
That's the one thing that happened in November.
Yeah, I was about to say, there had to be a noteworthy Omicron eventually. And because it went from Delta to Omicron, it skipped because it mutated so much. They had to like skip a few letters in the alphabet or whatever.
Yeah. Do you see they also skipped Xi?
Xi?
Because
What?
Xi Jinping. Yeah.
I saw they skipped new because it would be confusing that it was the new variant.
But you know what's after new is XI, and that happens to be the leader's name of China. So they skipped that one.
Oh, so that's why they skipped it?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Like, well, they're going to get pissed if we call
Let's not start that controversy again. I feel like that was very smart of them. So, like, the next variant, what's the next letter in the Greek alphabet? I'm typing it now.
Let's Google that. I feel like that's something the internet will know.
Pi. I bet you they'll skip pi. The pi variant.
Yeah, that just seems weird.
The rho variant. It'll probably be sigma.
Rho.
Sigma variant would be the next.
Why not rho? They'd go rho.
I don't know. Rho sounds too much
Rho,
like
rho,
the food.
COVID.
Sounds like too much like the food. Same with pi.
Sigma.
You know, too much
Epsilon.
associated with it already.
Now, what happens if you loop around? Do you get alpha alpha, alpha beta, alpha gamma?
It's a good question.
And then it goes beta alpha, beta.
It's
beta,
just gonna start
gamma.
sounding like fucking fraternities for COVID.
That actually would become a fraternity, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I'm that Delta Alpha Beta variant. Alright, well, December. Did anything happen in December? Because I don't feel like it
U.S.
did.
is going to boycott the 2020 Winter Olympics due to China's human rights record. That was a very big thing. Canada and the UK and Australia are joining.
I feel like this is more start of a war thing.
Yeah, exactly. That's a pretty big FU. But that does mean we won't win the most medals.
Oh, shocker. Because we won't be there. Will people even watch?
I don't know if they're going to have them. It's soon, right? And with Omicron breaking out, I feel like there was like they're doing so many crazy things to lock down and all this other stuff.
Well, when is the 2022 Winter Olympics? They have to be coming up, right? February.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're very
So,
soon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see.
That's wild.
From February 20th. From February 4th to February 20th.
No, I feel like our predictions are going to be more interesting, but I do think, because it really is basically January that had everything happen for like 2021 compared to 2020. Very, nothing much, right?
Well, 2020
Like, you think it's
really didn't have anything other than the pandemic and
The thing is, the pandemic was so crazy, though.
Oh, hold on. Here's one thing we missed. Squid Game.
What? Oh, that's true. Squid Game was
It's
pretty
like Tiger
baller.
King 2. Well, there was a Tiger King 2.
And there
but
was
it
a Tiger
really
King
Squid
2,
Game.
which was good, by the way.
Yeah. We did watch it eventually.
It was pretty good.
Yeah. But still, Squid Game is really the Tiger King 2 because it's the next one everyone watched.
Very true. Alright.
That was a couple months ago, maybe a month ago.
What? Squid Game?
Squid Game, 2 months ago.
When did Squid Game come out?
I think that's October.
That was such a good show, though.
It ended like I did not like the ending though, but
November.
Okay.
Early November. Oh, no, this is something he told people in November. It was probably before that.
Yeah, that's what
I'm sorry, what were you saying?
October. That I thought the ending was pretty meh.
Release September 17th.
Oh, okay, but I don't think it caught on until October.
I liked the ending because it kind of set it up for a sequel.
But
Or
it's just,
second
it's
season,
just
I should say.
Stupid.
I mean, how else do you end it, though? Like, I feel like it was pretty good for what they had.
A new cast of characters. Don't have the same guy because his decision to go back is stupid.
No, but here's already I know what they're going to do with the next one. Is it's not going to be Squid Game, here's what happens in the next one. It's going to be Squid Game, here's the backstory of the game runner.
Yeah. You think?
The one dude, yeah, and the old guy. No, the writer already said that's what the focus of Squid Game 2 is going to be about.
Okay, I don't want to see more of what's his name. And they should have had him, because it's just the dumbest thing to be like, no, I'm not going to go and finally take care of my daughter now. I'm going to go back and do something about these rich people holding a game with...
Yeah, I don't think that's what they're going to do with the second season, though. Or maybe they will. Maybe it will be a past and present back and forth.
Could be. But here's what I'm going to do for Squid Game, the second season. I'm going to wait a while and see what people say.
Yeah. I feel like you can't really do the Squid Games, right? Because it's not going to be as interesting. Because you already know what to expect. And then again, also, the characters were so well done, though, in the show.
Yeah. That was very well. The acting, the characters. Other than the white people. Like the rich people.
Yeah.
That was so bad at acting.
They were pretty terrible.
They were absolutely... It really took me out of it. Like, everyone else was top-notch.
Yes.
Really good. But then they brought in the VPs, and it was like... Is it just because they speak English and I can recognize the bad acting? But no, I think they were just bad actors.
They were just bad. No, I agree with you. They were just bad actors. It's also like they were so over the top. It's kind of the problem. That they seem so terrible. Okay. Well, that is the end of 2021. Unless something crazy happens in the next, 5 days?
Yeah.
This week?
Yeah, there's going to be a nuclear warhead that goes off in tomorrow.
Alright, so now we're going to do our predictions for the year 2022. We'll do a separate episode and we'll talk about what we predicted last year. How about that?
I think we should have a review of the years in review, because we should have quite a bit of them now, right?
Yeah, we do.
We've done one a year since when?
Review our actual years.
Yeah, how many do we have?
A lot. Probably 5 or so.
Yeah. We should listen to our predictions and what we were talking about, and then talk about that.
You mean each of our year-end reviews? Because we've randomly reviewed other years.
Yeah, but I think the past actual 5, we should do a review of the years in review.
Gotcha. That would be a good episode. Let's do that. That will be our next one. It seems like a good way to start off the new year.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Okay, but anyways, predictions.
I guess this is actually our 2022 predictions.
Yeah. Do you have a strong 2022 prediction?
Let me take a second here to think about what could happen. Oh, I have a very specific one. It's boring, and you should predict that I would predict this. But I think
go up.
Yes, the year, because they bought calls and options.
How many times?
Their year, because they bought calls and options and puts that are a year old, I think the most likely scenario is a year from now. On the anniversary of the squeeze is the most likely time for it to squeeze again.
I don't think so, man. I'm pretty sure you've given me other dates when it's gonna pop. Oh,
true. You know what's funny is on Superstonk, they basically the joke now is every day is the squeeze, because it became this meme where if people predicted a date, it would drop on that date. And so there was a time when people randomly just picked a day as a hype day, and it did drop, and so they're just choosing we started to think they have algorithms that search the subreddit for dates and purposely drop it on that day.
I don't think it's gonna pop. I think it's gonna be a slow burn.
That's fine with me. I mean, Most of mine were bought at $40, and it's still well above that. So
yeah, oh, then you're still making out.
yeah.
Mm.
If I would have told you GameStop though, before the squeeze would be on average about $150 for the whole year, when it was back up when it was like what, $2 or $3, you would not believe me.
Oh no, of course not. No, I saw before. I used to before Super Stunk and everyone. I followed Michael Berry and I knew he had a bunch in GameStop, and I just thought it was crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. I was on Wall Street Bets. I wish I got in earlier because I saw when people were buying it for $3 or $4, and I'm like, why is everyone buying like a bunch of fucking GameStop? Isn't that a dying company?
What I saw when they were talking about that on Wall Street Bets was they also recommend a bunch of weird ones. So I'm just like, but this one Michael Berry's buying, and I just think that, well, that's weird, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna buy it. It's just weird that you would do it. Like you can tell me a story, I don't know. I'm not gonna do that research.
Exactly. That's the thing, is I didn't go look further into it at that time.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is the short interest of it is confirmed from federal documents because there's an investigation going on that it was 226%. So it's still technically that percentage because obviously no one closed the positions.
Right.
So I still feel like mathematically it has to squeeze at some point. Whether that's over the course of a year or not, it has to.
Yeah. I don't know.
But that's the first obvious prediction I have.
Okay, what about inflation?
Ooh. I think the bubble will burst next year.
No, I've been thinking that the last 5 years, though.
But
at this point, I'm ready to.
It has to fucking burst, man.
A permanently high plateau. But
I mean, I was just talking with
GME is gonna pop and the bubble's gonna burst.
Well,
those
but
things won't happen.
GME is inversely correlated with the market, so it could actually.
It's not. The market's been down and GME's been down.
No, it almost always goes up when the market goes down.
Yeah, no. I think if the bubble pops, then GME's going way down,
But yeah, if there's a complete collapse, I do think GME will collapse with it.
Yeah, but God, I wish.
But
I knew.
Alan was just talking about.
It happened for so long. What's that?
Alan was just talking about a lot of people with Teslas are selling their Teslas because used car prices in some cases are more than new car prices. So they can make money off of selling their old Tesla to get a new Tesla. Which makes no goddamn sense to my brain.
Why don't people just all buy the new Teslas?
I don't fucking know, man. That's what I said. Maybe because you have to have like certain credit requirements for a new one? That's why I was like, I don't understand. That's like a clear sign of a bubble. For sure.
Yeah. Shit, that makes no goddamn sense. Is Alan selling?
Probably because used car places are making so much money off of it.
Yeah. Is Alan gonna sell his Tesla?
No, I don't think so. Just because this is a lot of work involved in selling a car. And buying a Tesla, too. Like, you gotta get put on a wait list and all that bullshit.
Maybe it's a quality thing. I've heard a lot of it depends on like when it was manufactured, whether or not the Tesla's a good one or not. Like it's not as clear cut as
I could see that. So yeah, this is my prediction. I think the market will crash, especially because after Christmas, after the quarter report, so the fourth quarter reports come out for companies. And a lot of people who are expected to have big sales because of Christmas don't have big sales. Or are significantly less than what they normally would be.
Yeah, because everyone bought all the shit they wanted during the pandemic. Right? They didn't need to go to restaurants, so they spent all their money on shit, and now they got all the shit they want.
Yep. That's my prediction. Shortly after that. So We're a shit. Doo-doo economy. You don't think the bubble's gonna burst this next year?
I told you, I thought it was the last 5 years, so I won't call it now.
Yeah.
I'll just say I have no.
You're like you can't. It's just so unpredictable when a bubble bursts.
I think Bitcoin's gonna go to $500,000 a coin, and then it'll go to -4 cents. Bull.
Oh, I got a prediction. A lot of people will lose a lot of money on NFTs.
That's something that's gotta burst, right? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Oh, did you see there was okay, somebody made an Olive Garden NFT, right?
Okay, well, what's that mean? Just an Olive Garden art NFT?
Well, they didn't say that specifically.
Uh-huh.
They said it is tied to specific Olive Garden locations.
Okay.
Right? And they had pictures of the Olive Garden and all that stuff and about its business, I guess. But I mean, it doesn't actually entitle you to own the Olive Garden. It just heavily implied that you did, and it sold for a ton of money.
People are fucking retarded with NFTs. I don't think most people understand it.
It actually gave them rights to the Olive Garden, the location.
I just don't think people understand what an NFT means and why an art NFT makes no sense.
Let's see. The Italian chain instead of invested in. All 880 have sold.
Oh, wait, Nick. Before we get off GME, because NFTs is related, I think GameStop will make a huge announcement regarding NFTs.
That just makes me think they're clearly a scam company.
Well, the thing is, what a lot of people are predicting is, one, either they're going to do a marketplace using blockchain, see proof, which I think is maybe, but for sure is digital NFTs for your digital downloads of games so you can resell and buy used digital content.
Okay, you don't actually need those.
You could, to show who owns it.
Yeah, but you could do that with a database.
Maybe.
And it would be done better, more than likely.
But I think what would be more likely and better is a blockchain stock market.
No, it wouldn't be.
Why?
As a tech person, let me tell you, most of the shit makes no sense.
What do you mean?
So, in the abstract, all the blockchain is a database that doesn't have a central authority.
Correct. That's what I would want.
But it's a wildly inefficient one.
Ah.
Right? Ridiculously inefficient. So,
because it takes all the power for people to run.
And not only that, nobody would want to use the blockchain. So, let's say I'm a company. Let's say I own Halo, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I want to sell digital copies of Halo.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now here's one way I could do it and how it will make sense. And, well, what it really is you'll just go on Steam and Steam does it, right? The exact same way.
That's what I'm thinking, like, if they partnered with Steam or something like that.
That's just a database, right? Steam just has a database, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, the alternative is through a cryptocurrency.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the implementation details aren't entirely clear, but if you have a token, you can unlock a game. You get to have your own game. You get to somehow, just like if you have the password to your one thing, you can download it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But who are you downloading it from? Who's checking your cryptocurrency thing is okay? So it would be nobody, right? So the one alternative implementation would be that nobody, in which case anybody with this token can download the game, right?
Yeah, there'd have to be. Well, that's
here's the fucking question, Zach. Everybody could just share the token, and 1 million people could download it. And then you just get
But that's not true. Isn't that the whole point of an NFT? Is the whole point of an NFT is the token ownership does transfer to your wallet, so your wallet shows that you have the NFT, and you can transfer that. So
I know. But see, here's what you're not understanding. So it will just ultimately end up being another central thing. Like Steam will verify you have that in your wallet.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Steam will verify that
somebody still has to verify that for you to
So
download.
It's ultimately just a complex layer put on top of something that already works without it. The other alternative,
you got a good point there.
Anybody could just share their tokens, and 1 million people would get the game.
All right,
you'd get one token, and 1 million people would download it.
My prediction still stays true. With the NFTs, will cause a lot of people to lose money.
Yeah, I think that's true. But yeah, the whole NFT ownership concept, it ultimately usually relies on a central authority, anyways. So it's really just a layer, a needless layer.
Alright, let me add this NFT. What is your prediction so far? We don't have one for you yet.
I know. I'm stretching for one. Russia invades the Ukraine. I'll throw that one out.
Is this just a gimme?
Well, no. Someone thinks that it's going to happen. I think it's not terribly likely, but it's not terribly unlikely. I'm trying to think of a good one. Okay, the Democrats will lose seats in the midterms. Right, that would happen in November of 2020.
I feel like that definitely could happen.
I think it's going to happen just because they're the ones in power, and like everyone hates the pandemic.
It always sways back and forth, yeah.
Yeah, it's like because Trump was president during the pandemic. Like if the pandemic hadn't happened, I think he would have won because the economy was doing well. Yeah. Just whoever happens to be in power during the pandemic is going to suffer. Like I think Biden's
very true.
Like approval rating is really low now because no one likes it.
No one liked him to begin with, though, right?
That's
like
true.
Not many people were rah Joe Biden.
No, they were rah anybody but Trump.
Yeah, exactly. Okay,
rah
I got one.
We'll take this guy.
New COVID variant.
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah. So, and by the way, well, I would say I didn't know this myself, but listening to Scott Adams' podcast, I haven't forever, but early in the pandemic, it was like, okay, I don't think the vaccine will ever work, really, because it'll mutate fast, because we've never actually created a vaccine against any coronavirus, ever. Like, the cold is one of them, and we could never do it. Right? Because it just mutates way too fast.
Yeah.
Right? Like the common cold, you can't do it because it's just going to mutate.
Because it's just too wildly fast.
And it sounded right to me is like, well, what's the point? It'll just change. It'll just be something more like the flu vaccine, and you'll just always keep getting them.
Yeah. But at what point do you not get the COVID vaccine? Because, like, with the flu, like, do I really need a flu vaccine? Like, I can get over the flu.
Yeah, I've never once gotten one.
Just like, I have because I work for Ohio Health, and I had to get like 3 or 4 vaccines when I worked for them, even though I worked in the call center, not the hospital, but it was just like a standard policy.
Nope, I've never.
So I got multiple shots then. Yeah, exactly. Like, eventually, it's going to be like, I'm already to that. Why the fuck am I going to get a booster? I already got the vaccine, right?
Yeah. But, I don't know. So the thing is, and this is something I don't think we'll know for, like, God knows how long, like a decade. Yeah. Like, how much worse can variants be than the flu?
Good question.
Right? Like, it could be like the flu or like the common cold, but much more severe on average. Like, there's a new one every year, but it could kill a lot more people.
Yeah, and I think we've already kind of confirmed that COVID was actually pretty terrible. If it killed over 1 million U.S. people, right?
Mm.
Like, yeah, I get most of those are people with comorbidities or old, but like that's still bad. They wouldn't have died if that didn't exist.
Yeah, and there's all the long.
They would have
COVID
lived
stories.
longer.
That's what scares me about COVID. It's like I don't care about the 1 week I'm out. I'm care about like, and now I'll never breathe the same way again.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I think is the scariest thing about COVID is what are the long-term effects of it?
So here's my prediction. I'm now set to return to work in March. I don't think it'll happen. I think it'll be delayed.
I think that's an easy prediction.
And then I think there will be another variant that comes up. And probably like it'll be really late into 2022 though.
Yeah.
It won't be very soon, but late. Like I'm gonna say October or November. There will be another one of concern. You there?
Yeah, I was just typing what you said.
Oh,
so
you're actually taking notes this time.
I do remember for our last year prediction, I predicted like we would probably start returning to the workplace mid this year.
Oh, I wanted to know what mine was.
Every one of you guys predicted we wouldn't return to the office until 2022. So we will never know until next year whether or not that's true. Like I think you, Nicole, and Chloe all predicted 2022.
I think that's a hard one.
So do you think you will return to the office next year?
I'm going to avoid it if I can. I don't think I will. I think I'd give it 50-50. That's the hard part, is I give it 50-50.
Okay.
It won't be March.
It's so unpredictable.
Yeah, it could be like June or July, maybe.
I mean, by saying...
I feel like COVID is always less severe during the summer, so that's when they'll try to force us back. Be like,
saying 50-50 is just another way of saying I don't have a fucking clue.
Yeah, it is.
Because you really don't.
But before I said we won't go back in 2021, so I was strong on that. 2022.
Yeah, you were strong on 2021, but with 2022, now you're not sure. You're like, it could happen, but a variant could pop up like Omicron, where like this one's deadly though, less contagious but more deadly. Because right now it seems like Omicron variant is like 4 times contagious but way less deadly. Is what we're noticing, right? Like that's the initial what we're hearing.
Some very recent reports that the hospital admission rates are surging now.
Yes, because of the 4 times infection rate. So if you have 4 times infection rate, the hospitalization is going to go up no matter what.
Well,
it's less likely to hospitalize you, but more likely to infect.
Not no matter what. If it's 1/5 the amount of damage as Delta, then it will go up. If it's 1/4, then it will stay on par. If it's twice half as bad,
it will
go up, right? I mean, that's not exact, but basically. So that's kind of the debate. I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll see.
It's just a wild time to live.
Deaths going up. Deaths will go up in about 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think towards the middle of... You know what? Here's my prediction. This will be a wild prediction. Okay. January 2022, some wild shit is going to happen just to keep up with 2021's January. I can't tell you what it's going to be, but it might be something crazy will happen.
So last year, Republicans invaded the Capitol. This year, Democrats are going to invade the judiciary. Right? They're going to the Supreme Court because it's overrun
a different branch of government.
Right? Yeah. Well, it's 5 conservatives on the court now, so they're gonna rush that and try to install their own justice.
I don't know. I feel like that's lame. Like, the judiciary? Like, we're going to attack the Supreme Court? That's a...
Yeah. So they were
that seems
trying
pretty
to
low.
get Trump to stay president. I think they're going to dig up Ruth Bader Ginsburg's corpse and try to put her back on the corpse.
Will we see any riots this year? Because
that's a good question.
We saw them last year.
It'll be, yeah, but not this year.
And the beginning of this, we saw the insurrection, not Black Lives Matter riots, but just notable riots. Will there be a notable riot?
I do, because I think one of the things that drive it is election year, and it will be midterms. Mm-hmm. It won't be as bad as a presidential election where everyone gets heated. It'll be just a little more, but it won't be as bad as 2020. That's my prediction.
I'm going to say no because people don't care about the primaries as much.
You mean the midterms?
They don't pay attention to them as much. Or midterms.
Yeah, they don't. That's what I said. It won't be as severe as 2020. I say we'll peak again with riots, or maybe even exceed 2020 in 2023, I guess it would be, 2024.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, here's my prediction. We will have riots for a new reason.
Really?
And I think it will be because of... We have the Great Resignation happening. Which, by the way, it didn't come up in our Wikipedia thing. I feel like that's kind of an important thing for 2021.
I don't think there's any clear metric.
Great Resignation. Yeah, it's like, how do you... It's just like a cultural saying right now, right?
Yeah.
I feel like there will be enough people in poverty that they will uprise in some way, and riots will be one of those ways. I feel like
Amazon. Somebody's gonna burn some Amazon shit down.
Yeah, I feel like wouldn't surprise me at all.
That if I had to guess what would happen, it would be Amazon.
My prediction is Amazon or the poors rioting.
The poors.
I feel like...
FinTwit.
What's that? Who? What?
The FinTwit.
I don't know what that is.
Financial Twitter, where a lot of it's comedy, and they call people the poors.
They call them the poors.
It must be on Super Skunk too, where they call them the poors.
Yeah, we call each other the poors. Yes.
Oh,
I feel like it's just a common thing.
No, this is in FinTwit. It's them calling the common people the poors because they're all actually investors.
Okay.
Or pretending to be rich people.
Okay.
Like, jokingly.
So, yeah, I get. I get exactly what you're saying. I feel like what could happen. You know, people have the like kill the rich. You know, eat the rich is a saying. We will actually have targeted attacks amongst very rich people.
Really? I feel like that probably should happen, or like, you know, you'd think that would happen, but I don't think it ever does.
Yeah,
it won't.
It never does, and I don't know why, but it never does happen.
You think?
Which is why I feel like it's a crazy prediction.
Yeah, no, I would more likely say Amazon warehouse burns or something.
But I feel like that would be slightly a targeted attack on the rich, right? If it's an Amazon warehouse, because that's such a poster child for the rich, quote unquote.
Okay. Speaking of which, I have a prediction.
Okay.
Ghislaine Maxwell.
Okay.
Is sentenced to prison or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Nothing happens to any of the people like that were on the list. There's no more evidence about all the famous people. No one asks questions. Nothing happens to them. There are no consequences.
You know, it's such a... Yeah, I agree with you prediction. It's kind of sad.
Yeah.
Like, she's gonna take the fall, basically.
She's the end of the line.
Yeah. I think you're right.
100% confident she's going to be found guilty, but she probably will. Because she's guilty.
Yeah, I think...
She's clearly
because she's already in the limelight. So, why not throw her under the bus?
But no one else is going down with her.
But literally everyone else involved in the kid diddling will be ignored.
All the kid diddlers will get away with their kid diddling.
Dude, the world's a wild place, man, when you think about that. That's another... Why wasn't that mentioned in our 2021? I feel like Wikipedia's kind of let us down.
Yeah. Well,
that trial wasn't mentioned.
Trial should be, yeah.
Yeah, it should be like that trial starts, right?
The kid diddling trial of the century.
It should definitely be up there.
I just feel like she should have hired or paid Danny DeVito as a star witness to go up for her and say, I did not diddle any kids. I'm not interested in diddling any kids.
Alright, do you have any other good predictions for next year? I feel like we got some good ones. It's tough. Do you think we will start a war?
Like I said, I think, well, if Russia invades the Ukraine, I think we'll just supply the other side of the
I think we will ignore that shit.
Yeah, but I think we'll just supply
Whatever.
the other side. I don't think we'll actually invade anything.
Do you think there will be any China-U.S. conflict, major conflict?
It doesn't seem like...
Not necessarily war, but conflict.
Conflict, of course. There's always, like, us boycotting the Winter Olympics is conflict, right?
But I'm saying major conflict. Like, that's kind of still minor, right?
Anything more major than that? No.
Yeah.
I think it'll be mostly symbolic stuff. Here's one prediction. I think Tesla is finally going to crash.
Okay.
Like the price.
I feel like that just kind of goes with the stock market, though.
Yeah, that's true. Because if it goes down, it's already like the third in the S&P 500 or like 8th, something like that. It's going to bring it way down.
So, do you know... So, because I read a lot about stocks strictly because of GME, one of the reasons why it's so beefed up with other stocks... No, why Tesla is so beefed up.
What do you mean? What do I know why it is?
Yeah.
Future expectations.
One of the
supposedly?
reasons. No. So one of the reasons why is because it's used as leverage by a lot of hedge funds. It's one of the stocks they hold as calls to leverage against their puts. So they use it. So the higher it is, the more leverage they have for margin calls. So the higher it is, the better they are protected against being margin called. So that's one of the reasons why the stock is so pumped up all the time.
I don't think that makes sense. That sounds like bullshit.
I mean, I'm explaining it in the minor details, quick explanation. It's just one of the ones that if you start with that as a call option, you would want that stock to be worth more. It's like just like
so
why
people are buying puts. I don't know.
Yes, because there's so many puts and shorts on stocks. You're supposed to, as any kind of investor or hedge fund, you're supposed to hedge your bets with. So every time you short, you're supposed to have puts matched with calls, right? So you're supposed to hedge your bets.
I'm not buying this.
And that's one of the reasons. I feel like I need like the more technical answer for you. The problem is I'm providing the layman's.
All the financial manipulations and bullshit reasons of the world. Ultimately, in the long run, it's going to be what value do they provide in the economy?
Yeah, no, exactly. That's
what they're worth.
That's what everyone else is saying. Like, eventually Tesla's going to drop. I think that's why Elon Musk is selling his stock, because he knows it's inflated.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I think is like okay, he's coming up with reasons to sell, right?
Yeah. Like, he's like, this is clearly inflated. I'll never get this price. Oh, that's also one of the things they say.
Elon Musk does or says something else ridiculous.
He probably did that tonight.
What did he do tonight again?
No, I'm saying I'm sure he did.
Oh.
Like, he does that on a daily basis.
What else?
Oh, let's see. Man, so much of this, like, I always come back to, like, we're in such a bubble, like, I'm just waiting for that to burst because that affects so much of life in society. We never really touched on inflation, though. Do you think inflation will keep going up? Do you know what our current inflation rate is reported
I think
at?
it was 5 to 6% annual, like 5 point something.
We're at 6.9% inflation.
6 point? Are you sure? 2021?
Or no, 6.8. Sorry, because we joked that they wouldn't say 6.9 because they wouldn't publish that number.
Oh, it is 6.8. Okay, you're right. 6.8.
So
freaking high.
Yeah, but also do you realize how they changed how they compute that?
Yeah.
So they don't take in energy or food costs into that.
Yeah, but people get conspiracy about it. It's actually a ridiculously hard thing to measure.
I feel like energy and food costs is pretty major for that, though, right? If you're determining CPI, right? That's yeah.
I mean,
for the average person, you're going to buy a lot of food, and you have to pay an electric bill every month. So that's a very good determination of like what's the average cost.
But maybe because it's considered an input, I forget all the fucking rules, but it's ridiculously complicated. Because it's like, how do you compare like a TV today versus a TV 1990? Like, it's hard to actually do that, right?
No, that makes sense. But food is always the same. Energy's always the same. What do you mean?
How many avocados did you eat in 1995?
Oh, you got a good point. There's trends with foods, is what you said.
Yeah, there's like, it's all over the place. And like, no one would have eaten them other than Californians. And then it was dirt cheap.
Yeah.
Now, it's in Ohio, but it's expensive. But people love them.
Good point, good point.
So, and then like...
But 6.9, let's just put it this way. 6.9 is high.
It's very high.
Or 6.8.
It's very, very high. It's not good.
That's what I'm saying. Like, most people have been losing money in their job. Like, did you get a 6.8% pay increase? Because if you didn't, you've lost money. You are now paid less.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty ridiculous.
So, here's my prediction then. Double-digit inflation by the end of the year.
Double-digit, really?
Yeah.
But everyone's predicting, I believe the current prediction is 2 to 3 rate hikes next year, which would bring it down. But then again, will it really happen?
Say that again, rate hikes?
Rate hikes from the Fed. They're priced in right now. Because in the bond markets would predict 2 to 3.
I have no idea what you're saying. What does that mean? Rate hikes for the...
That the Federal Reserve will raise the interest rate.
The interest rate. Down. Gotcha. Okay.
Right? But people say that
it would.
You know, like if the virus is bad enough, they won't actually do it. Then the inflation will be bad.
Yeah. So double-digit inflation is my prediction.
I will say it will be lower than 6.8. It'll be lower than 6.8, but it will be above the 2% that we've been hitting the last 20 years. And we haven't actually even hit 2% the last 20 years. It's been more like 1.5 to 6.9 or some shit like that.
Yeah, I think we're a little more.
It'll be less than 6.8.
I think we're a little more.
You know what? Even if it really is double digits, they'll just change the metric, Zach, and then I'll be right.
Yeah, well, that's why I think it's first off it's 6.8 instead of 6.9. They refused. And second off, I do believe we're probably at a higher rate of inflation already than 6.8.
Yeah, I don't know. It's so hard to tell.
Yeah. I got another good one. Any workers major strikes? Because Kellogg's just had a major strike.
Kellogg?
Yeah.
I gotta go back to Amazon. I think they would. They haven't already.
They did like the unions, right?
Yeah, I think there was shit going on there. That's where I think like there's a lot, because so many people must work for Amazon now.
They have to, yeah. It's such a major company.
I think there's going to be a strike among the vets that inseminate horses.
Why?
I don't know. Because that'd be the funniest one.
Okay, that was just the law.
I want more money.
For the laws. Prediction. If I wanted to predict a major strike, Amazon's just such the poster child for that, right?
I'd say maybe grad students. I feel like a lot of them are like getting $20,000 a year, or like associate professors. A lot of universities.
Oh, like teachers and stuff.
Well, the university, like, if you're not a professor or one of the good administrators, you're really getting screwed over.
Yeah, I can see that. I'm trying to think of something that would be more like they got fucked in the retail workers. A major retail worker strike.
They just have no power. Well, they'll be replaced with anybody.
But it depends, man. If enough people strike like a certain thing.
Yeah. You know what I'd predict? If they strike, it'll be even harder for me to find a retail worker that speaks English when I go to try to get help with something.
Is that a problem you have already?
in California, yes.
Oh, okay. I was like, that's not really a problem here.
It is here. I'll go, I swear, I've asked so many times, and it's clear they have no clue what I'm saying.
They're like, Como?
All right, man. I guess you should stock the shelves. Let me find somebody else. Thank you. Usually point to somebody or something like that.
That's hilarious.
So many times.
Is this in like a Ralph's or a Costco? What are we talking?
Like Walmart.
Okay.
I've definitely done that at Walmart several times, asked for help, and been like looked at with a quizzical, oh shit, it's someone speaking English look.
Just like,
In this country?
That's funny. Alright. Yeah, I was trying to think of something big, but one of the retail workers, I guess like a Walmart or something like that. Walmart, I guess, is the poster child for retail. A Walmart strike.
Walmart workers unite.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to organize like that, though.
Yeah, I feel like, for whatever reason, in my head at least, Walmart workers are poor and uneducated. And Amazon workers are educated ones that got a shitty degree.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, which means I think they're more likely to organize.
Because if you got a degree, you're like...
Walmarts are in rural areas.
Yeah, you want to make enough money that, like, if you were doing your job that you got a degree in, you would make that kind of money. And that's Amazon. It's very true. Toaster's looking at me while she's using the litter box, and it's kind of creeping me out. She says his dead stare while she's fucking pissing.
Prediction: Toaster will finish her poop.
Alright. Any more predictions as we round out this episode for the year 2022? I'm really curious to see how well we did with our predictions for our previous years.
Just to see how pointless this segment is.
Like, 2019, definitely we fucked up because 2020 was so unpredictable, right?
Oh, yeah. Shootings.
Ooh, yeah, we didn't touch on shootings. There was a couple that happened recently, right?
Well, yeah, but they didn't get the play that they used to.
Yeah, because they're notable now because they haven't happened in so long. If they happen, we're like, hey, like, remember shootings? What of those happened?
Ooh. Let's see. I think.
Do you think a major shooting will happen?
You know, I would have thought so, just because, like, people's mental health, I would have assumed would have gotten much worse during the pandemic. But why not now?
Yeah. I think maybe because still people are kind of tied up in their homes.
Yeah.
More than normal. I'll predict at least one major shooting.
What's major? Give me a number. 50 plus? In the U.S.?
20. I think 20 plus is major.
20 plus?
Yeah, I think before COVID, 50 plus was major. I think after COVID, 20 plus is major.
I think 20 plus will happen. 20 plus usually... Was there a 20 plus this year?
I don't think so, man.
I gotta look up biggest shooting of 2020. Biggest 2021.
I've just put major shootings 20. Mass shootings in 2021. Here we go. Wow, dude, the list is so much smaller than normal. Dude, the highest so far I see is 4.
What?
There were a lot of shootings, though.
10.
I like how many of them have 0. It's kind of funny.
In Gun Violence Archive, there was...
See, not major. You didn't hear of it.
No, there was.
Do you not see me
San Jose
scrolling?
There was literally.
When? Oh,
where I live.
San Jose, May 26th.
So that's not 20. Oh, I remember the Boulder one.
Huh? May 26th, I said.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. San Jose,
10.
That's where I live. And I didn't remember.
Yeah. I'm going through the list right now on Wikipedia that has, like, literally the whole list.
In a
for the
mere
whole year.
10.
That is the biggest one. You know what, though? The next closest was 7, and then there's a lot of zeros, which, like, bro, if you didn't even kill anybody, like, you don't make the list. Like, you injured people.
Oh, now that makes my...
So, yeah, I think 20. 20 is that's a prediction.
That's a prediction. If we didn't hit 20 dead.
Yeah, that's double the normal at this point.
I don't know. It's just... I'll say it's possible. It's another thing where I'm like 50-50 on. I have no idea. Because it just doesn't seem like there's any trend towards it. Like, let's see what the latest one. So that one was May 26th. I guess it's always in the summer or when it's warm.
Yeah, I was going to say summer is the normal. The most recent one is December 19th in Brooklyn with 1 and 3 injured.
Yeah,
at a strip club.
Again because of midterms. I'm going to say again because of midterms, it's going to be worse this year than last year because people get political. It agitates people.
Yeah.
But it won't be as bad as 2019 and the previous years. So I think they'll hit... We'll have a 20 death kill, but it won't get to the craziness of leading up to the presidential election when everyone was fucking nuts.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think we're on the same page with our shootings. It's a slow build up back to what we were at. Every year it's going to keep going up. Because then eventually the actual election will be there, and 2024 will get wild.
Oh yeah, hey, at the bottom of that Wikipedia, they have monthly statistics. So in January, there was 35 mass shootings. February, 43. July, there was 84 of them. So it's nearly...
They have them broken down by state, too.
Over double, yeah.
So it definitely does go up during summer. Isn't that crazy how, It's so clear humans just act
Yeah.
in a predictable way.
Heat, heat makes you a little more agitated. Just being hot.
Yeah.
And then, a political, atmosphere, I think, makes you more agitated. So that's where I think, those two things together, you're going to get a lot of people just getting angry and killing people.
It's just crazy you can predict there will be more killings in May through July. And be right most of the time. And Illinois apparently has the most number of shootings. Probably Chicago based.
Because there's two types of gang shooting, or mass shootings. There's the
reported
crazy man
shootings,
that goes crazy, and then there's the gang guy that just goes and shoots a bunch of people in another gang.
We don't really count the gang ones.
Yeah.
If you said
that, we're usually referring to the crazies.
Yeah, we're talking crazies. The gang shootings we don't actually care about.
Yeah.
Those are just going to happen.
I could ever be caught up
regardless.
in that. But I could go to a concert or be in a grocery store. Right?
Yeah.
Those ones.
And the crazy goes.
Yeah. I'm not living in the ghetto near a gang.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Any other last predictions as we round out the episode? Any wild ones you want to throw out there?
200th episode of Discourse.
By the end of the year?
Nope. We'll get to 185. If that. I don't know. You're pretty lazy with the editing. And then I got
you're not wrong.
It's hard.
All right. You know what? I'm going to predict the opposite. We will reach 100 by the end.
You mean 200?
Or 200. 200.
We should do more prepping. The one last time was good because we actually prepped.
Yeah. I agree. Well, let's do the year in review with some prepping.
Yeah. You mean the review of the years in review?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, yeah. So next time.
Cool. All right. So no more last predictions?
Do you have one?
Let me take a second before we end it to see if there's any other things I can think of that were important that could happen. Trump will resurface and be more active on social media.
Okay, that's a good one. We'll hear a lot more about him, probably because of the elections again. He's going to start for his president again.
He's almost non-existent right now.
Okay, here's my prediction. So, and this isn't really 2022. So Twitter kicked him off, Facebook kicked him off. I think, the Committee for Presidential Debates will basically not allow him on. CNN will basically try not to talk about him. Will basically just try to ignore him.
They'll just blacklist him.
Yeah, he'll be blacklisted by more than just the tech companies for exposure, right? And that's
a good point.
Yeah, we won't hear as much from him, is because there will be a bit of a conspiracy to just not give him a platform.
You know what? He's making his own, though, to probably try and prevent that.
Here's a prediction. That'll fail.
I don't think that's much of a prediction.
Alright, I think that's all I
definitely agree with you. No, that's it. I definitely think Trump's platform will fucking fail, and hard.
Yeah. Alright.
Alright, well, we got some good predictions. I'll listen to the predictions of the other years and start making our actual year in review predictions a cohesive document, and we'll do another episode that way.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Awesome. Alright, well, send me this one.
Alright, we'll do.
Alright, later.
Bye.